I told my friend her boyfriend is not allowed at my wedding. Am I in the wrong? I'll try to keep this short, though I do tend to ramble and include more details than necessary, so apologies in advance. Anyway, I'm supposed to get married in early October. It's not going to be a huge wedding or anything, but both my fiance and I have friends we really don't want to leave out. One of those friends is Amanda. We've known each other since high school, and although we're not super close, we're still decent friends and hang out occasionally, and I'd like her to be there. The issue is, I just recently found out who she's currently dating, and she wants to bring him as her +1. My sister, Lily, and her ex, Steve, split up around 10 months ago after she discovered he'd been cheating. She was devastated, and on top of all that hurt, she still carries a lot of resentment toward him. She doesn't even like hearing his name. He was a crappy boyfriend, so our family has no issue with him being out of the picture. 8 months ago, Amanda told me she had started talking to someone and she really liked him and everything. She wouldn't tell me who, not even his name, because she said she didn't want to share anything about him until it got more serious. I didn't really understand the secrecy, but didn't push her to tell me anything and just let her know I was happy for her and hoped it all worked out. Well, last week, she told me she was dating Steve. They had gotten more serious, and she wanted to make their relationship public to the people they care about. She also said she knew how much I disliked him and what he had done to my sister, and hoped I would try to understand their love and be happy for her and try to see him in a different light. I was a little shocked at first, since I really didn't expect her to be with a guy like him, and she knew what kind of person and boyfriend he was. But it isn't my place, and I told her that I'm happy, she's happy, and that was that. Well, 2 days later, we were texting about the wedding and everything, and she mentioned Steve being her +1. I do not want him there, not only because I know my sister, who's my MOH, doesn't want him there, but also because I don't like him, and neither does my fiancé. I immediately told her that Steve was not invited to the wedding. She was confused, and I explained to her that I was sorry, and I'm happy for her, but I didn't want him there. At first, she thought it was just because my sister would be, and kept saying that they wouldn't even be near each other, and it would be fine. But then, I explained that with everything that happened, we didn't want him there. I said sorry again, but she kept saying how I don't want her to be happy, how I just want to live in the past, how I want to punish her for finding love, stuff like that. None of that is true, and I tried to tell her that, but she stopped responding. So now, I'm left feeling like a complete asshole, and I don't know if I should just let Steve come or not. Update. First of all, I want to thank everyone so much for commenting and giving judgment. I know I haven't replied to everyone, but I tried to give any extra info that was asked for or relevant, though I am sorry if I didn't reply to you. Now, as I have mentioned in the comments, I had a lapse in my judgment, and that's what led to this post. I thought maybe I was seeing things simply from my distaste for Steve, and it was coming off as I wasn't supportive of Amanda, and that's what made me think I was wrong for not allowing him to come. But I see now, I am completely in the right to not have or want him there, so he will not be invited, and that won't be changing. With Amanda, I've pretty much decided that she is no longer invited to my wedding, and I'm pretty sure I'm ending the friendship, but I wanted to sit down with her and have a conversation first, not to salvage anything, but I have some things to say to her and questions to ask. With the cheating, I mentioned in the comments that we only know of 3 girls Steve cheated with. We all believe there are more, especially since one of the affairs goes back an entire year. They were together for 2, but we don't know for sure and have no solid evidence at the moment, and Lily doesn't care to find any. Amanda could very well be one of the unknown affair partners. It's very likely, and the timing and secrecy make more sense to believe she was. Even though I intend to end this friendship, and I'm finding it hard to believe that Steve wasn't cheating with her, it would still be awful if she had been. Another thing I mentioned in the comments was that Amanda had offered support to my sister when everything happened. She even said more than once that Steve was an asshole for hurting Lily, and for that to most likely have been an act would suck, lol. I would also like to clear up something about Amanda and her wanting to make their relationship public. Right after she told me they were dating, she started posting them on social media and telling people so my wedding wouldn't really be their coming out event, though it would definitely be a way for them to display their relationship and gloat and everything. Still not okay, but just wanted to clear it up and not mislead anyone. Last thing, lol. I was finally able to get a response out of Amanda. I told her I would like to talk to her about everything and get everything out in the open, and she has agreed to meet with me and talk. So, I shall update when that happens. Update. I wasn't sure if it would be better to post an update here or to make a separate post, so I hope posting here is okay. Also, sorry for the wait. I was finally able to sit down with Amanda and talk today. Anyways, on to what happened. I didn't really want Amanda coming to my house, so we met at this small cafe near where we live. I figured it wouldn't be too crowded, and we would be able to have a discussion easily there, so it was the best option. She was there first, and as soon as I sat down, she looked extremely smug. It seems that she thought I had wanted to talk to apologize or something, and believed I would be telling her Steve was invited to the wedding. Imagine her surprise when I almost immediately told her that Steve is in no way allowed to attend, and I have officially decided to rescind her invite as well. She was instantly angry, asking why I would do that when I was obviously in the wrong, why I would uninvite her simply because she wanted her partner there, etc. Bullshit like that, lol. I let her rant for a minute before I calmly told her what I wanted to say. I explained that my family, and literally everyone important to me who would be at the wedding, did not like Steve. No one but her wanted him there, and multiple people would be uncomfortable if he was. I also told her her it was my wedding, and my fiance and I are the only two people who get to decide who comes and who doesn't. I was clear that she was allowed to want her boyfriend there, but I wasn't obligated to cater to her desires, especially when it's someone I don't like at all. I even told her that if she had just decided not to come at first since he couldn't, I would have understood, but she tried to guilt me into inviting someone who wasn't wanted, so that's why she was no longer wanted. I told her how her actions made me feel, how I now perceived her, and made it clear I wanted to end our friendship and cease our contact. She was furious through every word. Before I ended the conversation, I told her that I had a question and wanted the complete truth. Honestly, wasn't sure if I would get it though. LOL. And I asked her point blank, was she with Steve before he and Lily split? She got nervous, wouldn't even make eye contact, and stayed silent for a few seconds. I figured that told me what I wanted to know, but I honestly wanted to hear her say it. Then she did. She told me they had been together for a year overall. They started sleeping together when Steve and Lily got into an argument, and Amanda started falling for him, so she thought being his mistress was better than not having him at all. Initially, he would only go to her when Lily and he fought, but then he started going to her whenever Lily was busy, or his other girls were. She didn't feel sorry about it at all, and kept trying to justify her actions. She even tried to justify her ability to look my sister in the eyes, to comfort her, all that even though she was fucking Steve for so long. She really thinks she did the right thing just because she loves him. At one point, she said they really were in love, and she was the only one in his life now. I felt bad for her then, I admit, but that's not my problem. I got up, I walked out, and I drove straight to my sister's, where I am now. I told her what I had learned, and we are having a very fun girls' night with ice cream, alcohol, and movies. Amanda and Steve are no longer my concern, and I have decided to enjoy the stress-free time while I've got it, cause I know I'm gonna be stressed the closer the wedding day gets. LOL. Thank you to everyone who commented. You were all right about the cheating and everything, and I am extremely thankful for y'all opening my eyes. Story 2. My 24M girlfriend, 23F, just broke up with me because of her work friends. I have been with my girlfriend, Kate, exclusively for 5 years, but on and off for 2 years before. A lot of my first happened with her. We went to each other's prom school dances. We supported each other through tough times. I know Kate is out of my league, and I did all I could to make her feel safe and secure. I'm in love with her and wanted a future with her. I went off to college and got a double major, and Kate went into cosmetology school. We were planning to move in with each other in a few months and talked about marriage and children. For the last couple of months, she kept making comments like, my coworkers keep asking why I'm with you. Coworker name thinks that you're not in my league. My coworkers want me to hang out with them and meet new people. Every time I would ask Kate what she thought, she always said that she loves me and ignores the comments. She tells them to stop, but they kept making these comments about her coworkers. We always had open communication and we talked things out. We haven't had any major issues. We argue over little things such as movies, TV, anime shows, food, etc. We don't hide anything. These comments started when she got the job at that salon. She works with all women. She did not cheat or anything. No emotional affairs, no hiding locations, no secret social media. The other night we had a nice date, had a good night after the date. When I dropped her off at her place, she commented that she was having doubts about our relationship and wanted to break up. I was super confused and didn't say anything. I slowly walked away. I know it was because of her co-workers, the comments they were making and pushing her to leave me. She said so in a message. Less than 4 hours later, she started calling me and texting me, saying she was sorry, didn't mean it, that she loves me, and she was stupid for what she said, listening to her new friends. She was going to quit and find a different job. Stop talking to her friends or co-workers. I have not responded to anyone. I'm conflicted. I love her. I have a ring being made for her. Money saved for a house for both of us. We share 85% of our friend groups. The rest are from our jobs. Most of our shared friends have now heard about the breakup and seem just as confused as I am. From some of the messages I have received, it looks like she told them the truth, that her co-workers started to give her insecurities about our relationship, and she stupidly went with it. Her parents tried to reach out to me, asking what happened. We are very close. I have been radio silent. Luckily, I can work remotely. I left my apartment yesterday with my laptop and found a nice place with good internet to still do my job. I feel lost. I don't know what I did. I don't know how to feel. I need advice and suggestions. Quick update. After I posted, my boss sent me an urgent message asking if we could do a Zoom meeting. I accepted. When his picture came up, there were 2 cops behind him. Apparently, someone, they wouldn't name, asked them to do a wellness check on me. They tried my apartment and no one was there. Then my work. I was not there. My boss knew I was actively working remotely and called me. I had to explain I was alright. Just had my phone off due to drama. I'm also supposed to go to her parents' house tonight. Update 2. We did not have a meeting last night. I rescheduled it for tonight, Friday. Life also has a way of kicking you when you are down. As I was going through my missed calls last night, I got a voicemail saying that my ring would be ready to pick up today, Friday. I also want to apologize for spelling and grammar mistakes. I have not been in my right mind the last few days. Thanks for all the feedback. I will probably update tomorrow or Sunday. Update. My longtime girlfriend just broke up with me because of her coworkers. They thought I'm not good enough and out of her league. Thanks for the messages and comments. It It has been an emotionally draining few days. On Friday, I cleared all my voicemail and texts. I ended up with 61 missed calls, 4 from the police, 14 voicemails, and 417 text messages. I sent a generalized message to those who reached out, stating that I was okay and safe. I also need time and space while I work out some personal issues. I picked up the ring since it was already paid for, then put it in the box I made for it. I did go to her parents' house. As soon as I pulled up, Kate opened the door and ran out. She had been crying. She went to give me a hug, and I accepted, but it wasn't how I usually hug. She then tried to kiss me. I moved my head and backed up. We went in and sat down. We sat for about 10 minutes without saying anything. She started crying and said she was sorry. I just responded with, okay. I asked her what she told everyone. She said the truth. I asked her why the cops were called to check on me. She explained that she hadn't called them. After our friends found out, they tried reaching out. When none of them had heard from me in over 24 hours, they decided to call in the wellness check. Kate used the word catatonic to describe me while, after I walked away, I took a bunch of the questions you all posted. I asked her why she broke up with me. She didn't give me a direct answer. Something about people at work constantly talking bad about me and playing on her insecurities. I asked why she kept allowing that to happen and not put a stop to it by setting clear boundaries. She said she tried, and it would work for a day, but it would go back the next. I asked if she saw value in me as a person or in our relationship. She said that she does in both. I asked why she would break up over something a random stranger said about me. She said she was sorry and it was a dumb mistake. Paraphrasing, I asked how they knew about me or our relationship and how much did they talk about me. The ladies at the salon overheard Kate talking to some of our friends or customers while she was working about me. Things we did, like dates, birthday parties, etc. Did she believe her coworkers were right? She said no. I then followed up with, why? She said again she did not know. I asked her if there was someone else. She immediately said no. She had never cheated or been tempted to. She offered me her phone, which I declined. I then told her how I felt. Sorry isn't enough. If she wants this relationship, she needs to prove it to me. I didn't care that her coworkers kept talking about us. It's that you listened. It isn't what they said that hurts. It's the fact that you kept listening to it and repeated it back to me. She didn't try hard enough to stop them. It makes me feel like she had to feel the same way to some extent. That is what hurt and damaged the relationship. Her insecurities are what broke my trust. I will now always think that this might happen again. She will run off at the next opportunity. She asked why I just walked away. I told her that at that moment, just 2 sentences broke me and made me rethink my life up to that point and the future I was planning with us together. I was growing and making moves for that future. She started crying harder. I felt bad. The next thing I did, I regret. I asked her if she knew I was going to propose soon. She said no. I pulled out and showed her the box. I made the box as well. It has 2 buttons, one that says yes and one that says no. It has lights that say, will you be my life partner? I set it on the table and pressed yes. The box opened and she started to cry even harder. The ring has both of our birthstones, forming the shape of a completed heart with small diamonds surrounding it and laser engraved initials and the date of our anniversary. I had it made so it could be added onto if when we had kids. Her parents were there, but were more just to make sure things stayed civil. Her mom was crying and her dad looked pissed, but not at me. They both made comments about the ring and box. I told her that the future I had planned was not going to happen anymore. We need to give each other space, at least 3 months of no communication. We need to take a step back and look at who we are and what we want moving forward. After that, we will see where we are at. But this is on my terms and timeline. I can't return the ring, so I don't know what to do with it. Might end up just giving it to her if things don't work out. After 3 months or longer, she said that most of our shared friends told her off and blocked her. Her parents are pissed, and her little sister hasn't talked to her since the first night. I said I'm sorry, but actions have consequences. I wished her the best, thanked her parents for all they have done for me, and hugged them. I knocked on her little sister's door. I have known her all her life, thanked her as well, hugged her, and left. I have 4 months left on my lease. I'm thinking of possibly moving when it expires. Tonight I'm hanging out with a good friend, Mr. Johnny Walker, just for tonight. I will get my life going again tomorrow. I don't know if there will be another update or not. Edit. I would have proposed tonight. Not sure if anyone will read this, but if things hadn't gone down the way they did, I would have asked her to be my wife tonight at midnight. Our first date was on Leap Day. We would have been married on Leap Day of next year. Update. Hello, people of Reddit. This is a follow-up. I have had many people reach out and ask how I am, and for an update. Thank you all for your love and support. To the negative Nancys, sorry if your name is actually Nancy. I hope you stub your toe in the dark one night going to the bathroom. This may be my last update on my situation. I'm going to try to keep things in a timely order. After my last post, I tried getting my life back together. I had limited contact with my ex up until about a week ago. That's jumping ahead though. I did like I said I would do. I did some self-reflection, some therapy sessions with my therapist who I've been with for a while, and hung out with friends to get me back on track. It was working too. I got to the point where I wasn't always thinking about Kate all the time. I did feel down about things sometimes, but I was really getting myself back. I also threw myself into my work, and my therapist said it was unhealthy, so I cut back to a more typical schedule. From what I learned about Kate during this time, she was also able to get into therapy. She quit her job and left in a way that burned all bridges to her ex-co-worker's petty island. She has a different job in a different field and is planning to go back to school in the spring. She would ask our shared friends. They did not just drop her and were there for her when she needed them. If they had seen me and how I was, they would usually just say I was doing well and living. I actually ran into her a few weeks after the breakup, and my heart skipped. She did not look like the woman I knew. She looked defeated and down. She was out with some of her other friends, and I could tell she was faking the smile and laughter. She did not see me. It did make me sad to see it. I still have the ring. It is in a safe spot. The box I was able to modify and give to another friend to use. She said I should sell it, but I declined. So overall, things were getting better. I was still going to hold firm on the no contact, but life doesn't always happen that way. Several things prevented that. We ended up seeing each other face to face 2 times. One was her little sister's play for school. I had pinky promised her I would be there, and you can't break pinky promises. The second was a mutual friend's birthday. We kept our distance, but did some small talk and blended into the environment. But things changed for me and our situation about a week ago. I still don't have much memory of the day, but this is what my friends have told me. For about a month now, I have been getting migraines right behind my eye. It would make my vision blur, thinking it was nothing and was because of all the stress and events in my life. I ignored it. I was out with 2 of my friends, walking around, talking, and shopping. I wasn't feeling well, but was still having a good time out. They said we were just walking along when I slowed down, wobbled, and almost face planted. My friend caught me. I then had a seizure for about a minute. Someone called the medics, and I was rushed to the hospital. Long story somewhat shorter, they ran a bunch of tests, and it turns out I have a brain tumor. I think it is called a glioma, SP, that my doctors believe they can remove. We are currently waiting for a second opinion. I'm still in the hospital and should find out soon when the surgery will happen. My friends called everyone they could, including Kate and her family. She showed up with her family. I missed them. She was the first person I thought about when I woke up and when I heard the news. We have talked very deeply over the past week. She is actually my one guest I'm allowed to have. She is passed out on the uncomfortable seatbed thing they have. I'm not sure what we are. I do still care about her and love her. The plan moving forward is when my lease is up, I'm not going to renew it. Her family has invited me to move in and take care of me if things go well. I have accepted their offer after much consideration. I won't be able to drive for a while. I'm honestly scared, but I have a good support team behind me. My affairs are in order for the worst case. Thanks for reading this far. I hope you all have an amazing day, week, month, year, life. Please do me a favor and tell the people in your life that you care about them, that you love them, and give them a hug for me. You never know what life is going to throw at you. Mini update. I'm being moved to a better hospital that has the doctor they asked the second opinion of. He is one of the top-rated surgeons in the area. Surgery should be happening maybe Tuesday. Things have been rough. I had some side effects again from the brain slug. I'm going crazy slowly. I can't do anything without someone with me or helping me. I feel like this room is getting smaller. The only thing that has helped is friends stopping by quickly or just checking in. My boss has been great. He has assured me my job is secure and is assisting on his end with insurance, leave, and disability. Kate's sister made me promise I would be okay. I'm afraid of breaking that promise. Thank you all again. Also, should I tell her about this account? Update. OP is out of surgery and is stable. Hello, this is Kate. OP is out of surgery. The surgeon thinks they got most, if not all, of it out. It lasted a little over 8.5 hours. From what they said, there were a few complications. They got him back. He is stable, but in the ICU until they think he is managing more on his own. Please give him your well wishes and prayers. I just want to add that I do love this man more than anything. I know I messed up. I was foolish a few months back, but I will spend every day for the rest of my life trying to win him back or prove my love to him. I know to you all he is a stranger, but please keep him in your thoughts. His well-being is the most important thing right now. Thanks. Story 3. Am I the asshole for not wanting to contact my son after he was the one who abandoned me? I, 45F, have a son from my previous marriage. I got pregnant way too young at the age of 20 from my high school sweetheart, David, 45, male. We got married at the age of 22 after we graduated college. David was wealthy. He didn't want me to work, so I was just a housewife. My son was the apple of my eye. I gave everything to him. He was my world. He and I were really close, and I never had a doubt in my mind that I would not be alone in this world as long as I had him. That is until 10 years ago. I found out that my husband was cheating on me with a young colleague of his, and what is worse, my 15-year-old son knew about it. He hid the affair from me. Imagine how broken I was. I was betrayed by the 2 people I care about most in this world. I asked him, why did he do that? Why did he hurt me? His response was that his dad told him not to. He bought him gifts to keep his mouth shut, and having a young stepmom made him popular among kids. I was completely blindsided when I learned my husband took my little boy to meet that woman. They made excuses that they went on a ski trip and took his mistress with them. I felt like a fool at that time. In the divorce ruling, my son chose my ex over me. I was heartbroken. My son didn't even want to visit me after it was all done. I even tried to reach out to him once he turned 18, but he just refused. At that point, I gave up and went on with my life. I would still get sad over the years, wondering how he was doing. I did move on and met someone who was a single father of 2 girls. I married him, and a few days after our wedding, I got pregnant again. The pregnancy was a nightmare. I wanted to meet my son and tell him he is going to be a brother to a baby girl. The labor was painful. I almost died on the spot after giving birth to my daughter. I still wanted to meet my son, but I knew he did not want to see me, so I just gave up the idea. Over the years, the memories of him just became vague as I immersed myself in my new family. A week ago, I got a series of messages from him on my Facebook. He said that he missed me a lot and wanted to meet up with me. It took me by surprise. Over the last 10 years, he has not contacted me, and now he wants to see me. Why? I have been going over every possible reason. The worst part is that I do not feel excited about it. As a mother, I know I should be over the moon, but I am not. My parents and husband know that. They have been pushing me to meet him. They say I need closure. After all, he is my son, but I don't know if I want to relive the same trauma. So am I wrong? Edit. I am sorry for the mistake in my title. I wrote she instead of he. Edit. Wow, I never thought it would get this amount of response, but thanks. I will give an official update on this, but now I am in conflict. If I do meet him, I won't invite him to my house. Maybe a public place. I am not sure if he wants something, but I will be cautious about that. Comments. I checked his social media 5 years ago. The last post I saw was with his stepmother, and the caption said, "To the best mom in this world." I felt heartbroken. I scrolled through his feed. There was no mention of me, as if I never existed in his life. XX. I didn't do anything. I didn't badmouth him or push him. He made this decision on his own. XX. The thing is, as a mother, I should be thrilled, but I am not. I am afraid he will act nice, and then the next thing I know, he is out of my life again, leaving me cold. Update. A lot of you have been asking me for an update. I finally met my son after so many years. He was not a boy anymore. He was a man. He looked taller than I remember. So anyway, I will give an update. I read your comments. Some of you gave me some good suggestions. I prepared myself for any possible outcome. He could be there to meet me and tell me about his life, or maybe reconcile, or maybe he wants something. Regardless of what it is, I am keeping my guard up. I asked him to meet me in a public park. I asked my husband to be somewhere nearby so he could see me. My son came 5 minutes after I arrived. He was all grown up. I won't lie. I wanted to cry right there but held my composure. He said hi to me and I smiled. I commented that he has grown up and looks really nice. He just nodded. We sat down and it was silent. I was expecting him to say something at first, but I finally asked what he was up to these days. He told me he is doing fine. He just finished college and is going to apply for graduate school. I said, "That is great." Then there was awkward silence again. He broke the silence and said, "You must be wondering why I contacted you." I replied, "For 10 years you haven't tried to contact me, but why now? I cannot help but wonder why you are trying to contact me when you told me years ago you don't want me near you because I embarrass you." His face got serious and he said, "I know that, but I need something from you. A lot of you suggested he must be here to ask me for money." Well, you guys were right. He asked me for money and the amount was $20,000. He said he needed the money because he wants to go to law school and his father can't afford it because he lost a lot of his money a few years ago due to a loss in his business and his company was bankrupt. He also had 3 more kids with his mistress wife. That's why they do not have money for him to go to graduate school. It just sank my heart. After 10 years, I was finally meeting him. I was hoping that we could reconcile and he would understand what I have been through, or maybe my husband was lying to him, but no, he just wants money from me. I told him I cannot give him money, not such a huge amount. He got defensive and kept saying, "Why not?" And then he asked, "Is this about Dad's affair? Geez, when will you get over it?" I asked him, "Why do you hate me? What have I done to deserve your hatred? Have I ever raised my voice? Have I ever hit you or said no to you? Then why? You always pushed me away when I tried to get closer to you. Why and what did I do to deserve it?" He took a deep breath and said, "You don't understand, Mom. You really expected me to come with you? You had nothing. At least my dad could afford the lifestyle I wanted, and my friends actually like Carla, his stepmom. Everything was fine until you discovered his affair and my deal with Dad. I get it. You didn't hit me or scold me, but you were not able to afford the life I wanted." I asked him if he really thinks his father's affair was actually the best way for any of us. I sacrificed a lot for him, and yet he chose someone who he only met when he was 14. He said he doesn't want to talk about that because it was so many years ago, and I should just drop it. I asked him why he never tried to visit me. I even asked if it was his dad who tried to stop him, or if there was any other reason, or if it was something I did. I tried to reach out to him multiple times, but he never answered or tried to be there. I gave him space because I thought he was coping with the divorce too. He yelled at me that I was really annoying. His dad didn't stop him. It was he who didn't want to meet me because I lived in a small apartment with only 2 bedrooms. He hated living in a place like that, and he ignored me on his 18th birthday because the gift I had for him was pretty cheap and stale compared to what his dad and other people gave him. I agree. My gift was a box of his favorite cookies and an old vintage watch. I was struggling a lot at that time, so I couldn't afford to buy him expensive stuff. But does that mean he should have ignored me like that? I had enough of it. I told him strictly that I will not be giving him money. I have spent years wondering where he is and how he's doing. He is still very disrespectful towards me. Throughout our whole conversation, he didn't even ask how I was. He just went straight to money. I was here hoping that we could move on. He had no idea how much of a mess I was when I learned the man I loved so much would betray me, and then my own son would lie to me for him. I thought we had a special bond. My head has been going through a lot of conclusions. Maybe his dad was lying to him about me. Maybe he was mad about something I did. But now I have the picture. I do not want to be his ATM. I wanted to be his mother even when he rejected me. I'm tired of feeling rejected, getting mistreated, and taken for granted. He kept saying, and getting even more defensive, that I cannot do this to him. I am ruining his life. I told him no, I cannot trust him to give so much money. He told me to cut the what the fuck because he knew I have money now and I can easily give him some. I told him no, again and again. He once stood up, blamed me, and screamed that I am ruining his life and that I owe it to him. I called my husband and he rushed over to keep my son away from me. I now realize I should have trusted my instincts. I cried a lot when I got home. I lost him forever. I know many of you will call me a bad mother and a narcissist, but I am sorry. I have spent a great deal of time in therapy to overcome the pain of losing my husband and son. I cannot have him in my life only to be used as an ATM. Even if I gave him the money, there is no guarantee he would not ghost me or push me away, only to come back when the money runs out asking for more. I cannot endure similar pain. I may be able to forgive him for what he said to me, but I don't think I will ever forget it. He hated me because I had no money. I would have been fine with weekly visits, but he never wanted that. Additionally, during our conversation, I discovered he was the first to find out about my husband's affair and asked his dad for a new phone in exchange for silence. I lost. That's my update. I am sorry if there were any errors. It is hard to express all of this in a few words. And no, his birthday wasn't the only time I reached out, as many of you assumed. I tried to contact him many times before that. He said he didn't want to or had other reasons. I respected his decision and didn't bother him much. I finally stopped trying when he turned 18, but I still checked his social media for quite a while until I gave that up too. Comments. It wasn't just that he was asking me for money after so many years. I don't know if he'd use that money for something bad like drugs or gambling. Also, I have no way to confirm if he is telling the truth about grad school or not, so it seems too risky to give such a huge sum just like that. I at least have my daughters, but I still feel bad they will never get to know their brother. I do have more money than before, but $20,000 disposable income is too much.